Welcome to Synagogues of Ohio Part 3. We start out in the city of Canton, which has about 71,300 residents, and are looking at conservative congregation Shaarei Torah Synagogue. It utilizes a visiting rabbi who currently is Sheldon Switkin, and Shabbat services are held on Friday evenings and Saturday mornings. The synagogue is also called Beit Ha'am, or House of the People. But what you're also seeing here is a shared facility. This is now also the home, as of July 2012, to a Reformed temple, Temple Israel, as well as the Canton Jewish Community Federation. Temple Israel goes all the way back to September of 1885. Prior to relocating to the building with Shaarei Torah, it had been at this location since 1954. A close-up of the building shows the Hebrew words chiseled into one of the squares. They are Emet, Din, and Shalom, which translates to truth, judgment, and peace. John Adlin is the current rabbi of Temple Israel. Rabbi Emeritus is John H. Spitzer. Shabbat services are held Friday evenings, and there is a Saturday morning Torah study. We move over to Chagrin Falls, which is a suburb of Cleveland with about 4,000 residents. It used to be home to Shir Shalom, a Reformed temple. It started out around the beginning of this millennium. In fact, as one could possibly tell, it was renting space in a church. And for the last year of its existence, there were no longer any weekly services, but just one for the high holidays. They never had a rabbi, other than occasional visiting ones, and did their best business on the high holidays when about 150 to 200 people would show up. It's an old problem, but when Jews come to services by driving to them, they can be quite picky and choose various options. Which takes us to East Liverpool, with a population of a little under 11,000, and it's along the Ohio River between the states of Pennsylvania and West Virginia. And here's another synagogue that was about ready to close down in June of 2016. It was Congregation Beth Shalom. It was also down to having just high holiday services. The asking price for this building a year ago was $99,500. The congregation was the result of a merger of two synagogues, Temple B'nai Israel and Congregation B'nai Jacob, which occurred in the early 1960s. The building shown here was erected in the early 1920s. In its final years, it would hire a visiting Reform rabbi. Well, back among the living, we're looking at Elyria and Temple B'nai Abraham, which is a Reformed congregation located in the west side suburb of Cleveland. The congregation was established in 1910 as an Orthodox shul, and it switched over 30 years ago to the Reform movement. The building shown here was erected in 1955. In between these two extremes, it practiced conservative customs. Lauren Werber has been its rabbi since 2006. Shabbat services are held on Friday evenings, and there is a Saturday morning service when there is a bar or bat mitzvah celebration. Our last stop takes us to another synagogue that has gone adios, and you can see why very quickly. It seems to be out of the way from major arterial roads. The location is officially called Granville, with about 5,700 residents, and it's in Licking County. It merged in 2012 with Congregation Beth Tikva in Worthington. Before it chose to merge with Beth Tikva, Ohev Israel also considered two other Columbus area synagogues. The merged Reformed congregation has about 420 member families, and at that time 5 years ago was planning on breaking ground for a new facility and expansion. But it wasn't relying on a large influx from Ohev Israel, which only had 17 registered families at the time it closed. This concludes this brief excursion, but there are still many more synagogues in Ohio to check out, especially in larger cities. So bye for now, and see you real soon.